some neighbors in San Francisco are coming together to try to change the future of the city and tackle some of its biggest issues. The group called Abundant SF could become a political power broker in San Francisco. SF Standard takes a closer look in the latest issue here. Reporter Josh Kane recently talked with the tech executive who is leading this effort. And Josh joins us live now to tell us more about who is behind Abundant SF and to let us know more about the group's goals and strategies. Josh, nice to see you.
Hey, Kristen. Good to be here.
All right, so you took a really close look here. In fact, you interviewed the man who launched this political group. Tell us a little bit about Zach Rosen.
Yeah, so Zach Rosen is a tech executive. He's also the founder of a nonprofit called California YIMBY. YIMBY being the Yes in My Backyard movement that is pro-development of housing here in the city and across the state. Zach is basically formed this group called Abundant SF with a longtime Democratic political strategist named Todd David. And together they're basically recruiting what is a network of tech executives who are raising families here in the city. And they intend to collect up to almost $4 to $5 million a year. And they say they're going to spend this on just a core set of causes and candidates who support those causes over the course of decades, not just a few years or one election cycle, but they're saying $4 to $5 million a year for up to 40 years.
Interesting. So these families, they have the wealth and they're committed to staying in San Francisco and kind of keeping that money pipeline going. So what are the causes that they're focusing on most? I know you mentioned YIMBY, so I assume they want more housing, but what else? What are their, key goals?
Yeah, housing and transportation, those are the top two by far. When they look at it, they feel like we need development of all sorts to basically, the theory behind Abundant SF is this idea of abundance, which has gained traction nationally over recent years. And the idea is with higher supply of housing, more costs will come down and you can get more people off the streets. And the same goes with getting more funding and opportunities to do public transit. Decarbonized transit can not only make the environment better, but bring down traffic and make us a more livable city. And so they also want to focus on education, which was a huge deal here in San Francisco with the recall last year. And they also want to look at public spaces and parks because this is an issue. John F. Kennedy Drive and Golden Gate Park here in San Francisco was a really lightning rod issue. And a lot of the people who were involved in this were also working on that fight last year.
So they wanted the park, open, right? The drive, and they supported the recall. And I'm trying to figure out where to put them on the political spectrum in terms of some ideals that sound like they're a little more left, but other ways of going about it that sound a little more right, at least for this city.
Yeah, when you look at it, San Francisco is a very blue city. There's not really a whole lot of Republicans here, so you have your very far left progressives, which are going to be more focused on social justice causes. And then you have your moderate Democrats who are going to be more focused on economic issues and taking a slightly different approach to housing and transportation and some of those things. Public safety especially is also something they're pretty bullish on. So when you look at what they stand to do in Abundant SF, they're going to be part of this more moderate approach. They also, as we've seen, a lot of tech-funded political groups here in the city are certainly trying to create a new vision for San Francisco to address some of the major crises. And they just have a much different way of going about things than maybe the more traditional reputation of San Francisco being a liberal bastion.
Yep. And I do find it interesting that there are more, I don't want to say grassroots, but people rising up saying, just city government's not enough. I'm not going to go through that route anymore. I'm going to try something else, right? But real quickly, we have 30 seconds left. What's been the reaction since you published this report about Abundant SF?
The reaction, and it's on Twitter, so take that for what it's worth. Everybody on Twitter likes to scream into the vacuum. But I would say that actually a lot of people are saying, they have reservations. There's a lot of distrust of tech-oriented politics and policies, and whether or not that serves the best interest of maybe people who are just new to the city and trying to change it in a way that is not to its core values of what San Francisco has been for over the course of decades. Yeah. So a lot to shake out right now, but the main thing is I wanted to let people know this is coming down the pipe.
All right, Josh Kane, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You can check out more of Josh's report and the San Francisco Standard's other original reporting on sfstandard.com.